when a whole generation says, we didn't think Phil was capable of that. What the do you think I won 15 bracelets? You think I won 13 no limit hold'em tournaments at the World Series and all these tournaments all over the world by not having every speed?
Phil, let us start with you once again. Not the most celebratory approach for you after winning round two. Now that you've had some time to think about it, how do you put this win into perspective?
Yeah, I was not. I think that the world, the kids, a lot of the younger generation, everybody's like, "Oh, Phil was amazing," and they went crazy. Great, 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 great. And but I felt like I could have played a lot better. Um, and It was interesting too. I'd say that uh, some of those bluffs were awfully fun. It always boggles my mind when a whole generation says, we didn't think Phil was capable of that. What the do you think I won 15 bracelets? You think I won 13 no limit hold'em tournaments at the World Series and all these tournaments all over the world by not having every speed? So it's true, the last few years, it's worked for me to play a different style. And, but I mean, you can't be great if you don't have all the gears.
And you certainly showed us that zoom gear. So Daniel, after watching the tape back, your thoughts on how you played throughout round two?
Well, so here's the thing. Well, I'll give you like a sort of synopsis of round one to round two. So in round one, Phil has a reputation of not basically. So when you think of theory and game theory, right? Like there's a certain percentage of the time you should be bluffing on turns and rivers, and in order to get those calls, like you sort of have to earn them, right? And Phil hadn't really earned them in round one because, like as you saw, I was making a lot of really, really big folds, right? Extensively. So Phil watched the tape. And then, whether he knows it or not, he was using game theory to make a really good adjustment against that. So what he started doing was he noticed that I'm way over folding, right, according to like the baseline. So he started way over bluffing, right, in a lot of spots, which actually gives him a much better chance to win by doing that. Having said that, it wasn't like I was surprised. Here was what I was surprised by. I expected the pre-flop aggression and the c-bet aggression because he's always sort of done that. What he's never done, really ever in a televised environment, is actually, and it's true, he's never on TV shown that he can also couple that with turn and river aggression for big sizes, right? So one of the things you can do against a guy like Phil is exploit that by overfolding turns and rivers. He did a good job of upping his frequencies. Having said that, his 3-bet frequency still is lower than the norm. Like he's not 3-betting a lot. He just chooses a different range to 3-bet with, right? So most people, because what he does is he takes hands that are natural 3-bets, like 10-jack suited, and he adds like, 10 deuce or jack six or some random hands, right? And he takes out some of those middling hands. And a lot of people were like, well, why didn't you just start 4-betting him more? Here's the thing. Once the stacks got shorter, when you're like 40 big blinds deep, when he's 3-betting, he's laying a very big price because his 3-bets are very, very large. So there is no 4-bet middle. It's a jam. So he's basically saying, you have to jam. So if you get queen 3 or 4-6 offsuit, like you don't just jam there and hope that, he doesn't have it in those spots. So overall, I think he played much better, like much, much better in the second match. He gave himself a chance because the approach that he took in the first match, I don't think was going to be able to be something that long-term he could win. Because I think if you counted the number of big blinds per 100 over the first two matches, 500 hands, I'm winning maybe 15 to 20 big blinds per 100, right? The problem is I'm losing all the most important ones at the end, like, the eights against the ace-4 and stuff like that. But when the stacks are deep, I'm winning at least 15 to 20. But that's not how you measure it, right? You measure it by like who wins the match, and he's won both matches. So, you take your hat off and you say he made good adjustments.
Hey guys, Jeff Platt here alongside Brent Hanks. This is No Gamble, No Future. Brent, what should the good folks do at home today?
Oh, you gotta like, you gotta subscribe, you gotta follow, do it all, Jeff, the trifecta. And Jeff, most important, you gotta risk it to get the biscuit.